G'day! I am going to show you how to re-sole a longboard shoe using a car tyre. So, you'll need a car tyre, pliers, Stanley knives or cheap equivalents, the shoes you plan to re-sole, and some strong adhesive rubber glue. The first step, pull out the knife you want to use and cut through about here on the tyre, all the way to the wire and all the way round. It'll be easier to cut when you're sitting on the tyre because the rubber will pull itself apart a little more. But watch out for your crotch. Then grab your widest shoe and measure over from that side to the edge of the other side, which is about there, and then add a little bit to be sure and cut round to the wire on the other side of the tyre. Now that we've done that, pick a random spot on the tyre, you want to slice across. You'll want to cut right across the tyre from the two lines you put around it, two cuts to the wire, and then we're going to start to work the tyre up and cut under it, as you can see in this one that I've begun to prepare earlier. Again, it's easier when you sit on it. So once you've cut straight down, you just sort of want to work it up a little bit, cutting under the rubber but above the wire. It's a little easier when you take out a second strip just behind it. Not much, just enough to sort of get a buffer the way across. This bit's going to require two hands. You grab pliers in one, grab your pointy pliers in one hand, pull up with the knife underneath in the rubber in the other hand. And then at about this stage, the pliers will come in handy once more. As soon as you can get your pliers under a section of tyre and pull up, it makes cutting a lot easier. As soon as you can get the pliers in, it becomes much easier with two people. So, let's see how I go getting my sister. We've got it all the way across, all by myself with the help of sister. And so now we are just going to continue cutting down, trying to make it as even cuts as possible. As you can see, I've started off quite badly. Rightio, so we've been attacking this for the last little bit, and you'll notice it's much, when you guys do it yourselves, you'll notice it's much easier to cut when it's being pulled really hard. I have no idea what this section is, but it looks pretty cool. Yeah, it turns out I picked up a lot of wires through here. Yeah. I got it.
Okay.
Here. Rightio, that's mostly done. For those more observant of you, you'll notice that I've changed the tyre. Yes, that was a bad pun. Almost there. Now you don't need to go all the way around to resole your shoe. You can just do a single sole at a time, but well, I felt like going the way round. Rightio, there we go. You can see I got much smoother as we went on, but that can only be expected. And I wore through most of the knife. So here we have a few of the sets of shoes that I'm going to resole. You'll notice that I've been foot braking it and have worn through those sections more than this section. Two ways around that. You can either file down this section, cut it out a little bit, or, as you can see here, I've put a bunch of this rubber glue over these parts, just to give it an extra bit of a buffer. What you don't want to do is remove the entire sole, because then as you foot brake you'll have the heat from the tyre directly onto your foot, and it gets quite hot. From here you measure out the size of your shoe and slice through. I'm goofy foot, just as by the way, which is why you'll notice my left shoe is more worn than my right. You want to give it a bit of room there, a bit of room behind the heel, a bit of room at the toe, just to be sure. There's one piece, do the same for the next shoe. There we go, through that. From here you want to wash down the soles of your shoes and the tyre rubber. Give it a bit of a wipe down with an old rag. Let's get all the dirt and stuff off. Then, when it's dry, give it a light coating of this rubber glue. Both sides, both the shoe and the rubber that it's going on. You'll want to spread the glue about with something you've got lying about, like an old, well, this is just an old piece of rubber from an earlier attempt. Just enough to give the entire shoe a light coat. Now I'll let that dry for about 10 minutes and come back to finish the job. Then simply attach the shoes. After the 10 minutes is up, then once attached, cut around the shoe. When completely attached, go for a skate.